And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. Come on. I can't be touched and I can't.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Jets and the Indianapolis Colts. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Line 40! Here we go, D. All day. Defense, all day. All day.
Naeem Hines, his first carry. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Out of the gun, Luck. Ebron's got it. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. From the gun, here's Love. Able to find Deion Kane, complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 45-yard line.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. Now a first down throw, Luck. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line. Leonard Williams. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
It's just me and you.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
Here's Luck. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Third and long, it's Luck. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Quinnen Williams in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. First carry for James Conner. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Let's put that team on the hunt.
On 2nd down, Conner looking for space. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A gain there of 30 big ones.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Here's Darnold. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Here's Darnold. Got an open man. It's a noon one. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Give them 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10 is Conner. Give the tackle there to Danielle Hunter.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, it's Conner. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now it's Luck. And his This throw is going to be incomplete. The safety, Jamal Adams, able to break that one up.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. Got an open man. That's Campbell. 23 yards, the final tally. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Now this throw caught left side. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Right there.
Luck on first down. Catch made here by Campbell. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Throwing his lock. Buying time to his left. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
At the Jets' 40-yard line.
Go! Ready! I got you, pump. 57. Mike.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Luck. He'll find Hines out of the backfield. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
2nd quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession as they go to work on a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. Here's Luck. Escaping the pressure right. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
On the run is counter. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one, a first down pickup of 8. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Cutter on first down, working his way forward for about 4 yards. Second down coming up. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
It's now 2nd and
following the pickup of 4. Here's 2nd and 6. Now it's Darnold. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Danielle Hunter has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
54 mark, 54 mark. Check, watch 54 mark.
On 2nd and 11 now. Luck. Campbell making the catch. 16 yards, a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A well-executed 22-yard gain. From the red zone now, Locke. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Brian Poole. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
On 2nd down now. It's Connor, and he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Jets on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
On second down, it's Hines. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Let's go one more. 11. 57's the mic.
From the gun on 3rd down, Luck. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that had far too much air under it. It's out of the back of the end zone, and the football will come out to the 20-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the 2nd half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Darnold flushed out right. Now he's going to let it go deep, and that's caught inside the 30. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
The Jets are going to use the 1st of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the 1st half. First red zone opportunity now for the Jets. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. To throw is Darnold. That's complete to his running back, Connor. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this 1st half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Back to throw, Darnold. That's going to be caught by Crowder. It's a Jets touchdown. Jamison Crowder in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Jets have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he's going to go out of bounds on the return. He won't even get this thing back to the 10-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Right back to Cotter here on first. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Darnold eluding the pressure right. And he's got a noon one. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Darnold from the gun. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal. Now Cotter. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. James Conner. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jets will extend their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Luck now to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. And with that, they're down to 1 remaining here in this second half. Luck and the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Luck. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Leonard Williams has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. That's taken at around the 40. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10.
49, guys. Mike, 49. Let's go, D.
Darnold on 1st down. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
But it looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It was Justin Houston, the native of Statesboro, Georgia, with a sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Love. He's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Take it at the 37. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Darnold now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Connor. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Again, a run with Connor. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. Darnold now to throw. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Jets will extend their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Leonard Williams in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Luck looking for Campbell downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell, and now it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Leonard Williams racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. On the NFL scoreboard, 3rd quarter now in Lambeau. And that one all Packers right now. They've scored again. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. First down run for Connor, not going to get much, maybe a yard. 2nd down. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Darnold. Throw left side complete. It's Lamb.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Got an open man. It's a noon one. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Here we go.
Here's Darnold. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The linebacker Darius Leonard applied the heat.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. He'll look to throw. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Indianapolis. It's Jet football as they've got the lead here, and we get set to begin quarter number 4. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
This will be taken in at the 1. Then he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. And they got the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 24-10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Jets on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 16. They'll set up a throw. Anunwa's got it, complete. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. Darnold now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
On 2nd down now, Parnell. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And it's caught by Herndon. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create it.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. He got 29 yards that time. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Darnold to throw again. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Josh Bellamy, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jets will extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Extra point good by Catanzaro, and that will get them one closer. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. On the NFL scoreboard, they've gone to the 4th in Cincinnati. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. If they can hold on, the win would be number 8 for them on the campaign. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ja'Kai Polite in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon. Luck in the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long.
Hey, 1 set. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Yo.
A shotgun snap for Love. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Moore. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Parnell, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 3rd down. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. And the delay of game penalty makes this much more difficult. 3rd and 8.
Check.
Now a give, right side. It's Moore, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. On 2nd down now, it's Moore. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for 1st. On 3rd down, Moore. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
So it's a victory here for the New York Jets, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a